Fie Minia. Long live Ghana, man. Long live the baby, man.
One time. So come go to Jenny Mumpire. So come we are fire. I'm ready, ever to you. Ghana, ready, ever to you. Baby, free Ghana. The man Penya, what you can know your friend or Dr. Nkrumah. Yeah, mini sign up with my dear number, your mama. I send back to baby, I'm in Tia, I am in Wangwa. Here, on no Naji Fahundi, Yanara Assassin, I have what they did my Mojana, and we are going to hold my head. Drew me never to say, baby, at was all. Can I be a baby? I'm in and Yankee on one Diana and I'm possessed every Obiana and any Jana into young physical tons of from Namo Fragina, Comna to Jomon Campoya, who say a kind of animal that be as so did video some you do native Ghana City, Obia baby, and now to any greedy, I bet Janka Bitty baby and I will go to Kubia, Bianco Bini, Libya, when I was so young. Rene Husima, Bapu, and the Priatus and Uncle and dance so called Parliament, Akonaco, and I will say, I'm going to come to my power, and Jankan Koya, Bawana, as a master Bibia, woman, Panko Shabun, some tower, and yes, I'm not putting power when I'm going to try to find power. When I'm in Sasa, and yet, Banaya Casaqua, May, they are not in power, yes, Muntia, Ghana, May, Panay, I'm in Udia, Ghana, May, I'm in Udia, one so.
Welcome to another edition of Diaspora Weekly. My name is Jermaine Nkrumah, and you're watching Diaspora Network Television. Today I have a friend, and wait till you see him. Just wait till you see him. I know that they're not going to put a camera on him yet, and there's a good reason for that. We're going to talk about Africa, my favorite subject, and the governance of Africa. But as usual, before we meet him, we have to go to the jungle. So stay tuned for the jungle. We'll be right back. In today's jungle, I want you to see this video, okay? This video by President Paul Kagame of Rwanda. Take a listen.
Of Boko Haram, or you can use that for many other cases. For me, when I'm watching on television and I find our leaders who should have been working together all along to address these problems that commonly affect their countries, wait until they are invited to go to Europe
that we're dealing with now,
to sit there and just it's like they are made to sit down and address their problems. Why does anybody wait for that? What image does it even give about us, about Africa? In fact, the image it gives is that we are not there to even address these problems. We are there for a photo opportunity. We are happy to sit there in Paris with the president of France and address and just talk about addressing problems. It doesn't make sense that our leaders cannot get themselves together to address problems affecting our people. It doesn't make sense.
Now, I'll be the first to admit that on this very show, I've been critical of President Paul Kagame. Our reporting indicates that sometimes he's dictatorial in his practices, but you can't take away from him his passion for the people that he leads and the continent as a whole. In a way, we need this. And look, we know nobody's perfect. And so, yes, he's going to be dictatorial, but if we can slow down on the dictatorial practices and combine that with the passion for the people that we lead, maybe Africa would have gone somewhere. But me, when I look at a video like that, where someone is speaking with passion and speaking about a subject matter that is so critical, that why is it that we brothers and sisters, when we have a conflict, we have to go to Europe to have it solved? What does it say about us? That was a critical question. If you cannot go across the border to sit down with your brother or sister, shake hands, look him or her in the eye, and discuss issues that affect your people, but you always have to be summoned by some godfather in Europe in order to address your situation, shame on you. I have no problem if you're a leader and you're going out there to negotiate business for your country or seek loan, that's fine. But to go there to solve your problems, nah. As he said, shame on you. It's time for us all to solve our problems together, because after all, we're brothers and sisters. And for today, that's the Django. Stay tuned. We'll be right back to meet my guest.
What's cool, fresh and trendy with a new look? Makes you feel real good, that refreshing vibe. Satisfies you right just the way you like. Do you know? Do you know? Do you know? You gotta do it alone. Specialized makes you flow. Anytime, anywhere. Natural mineral water. Feel different. Think special. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Very good and welcome. Now you finally get to meet my guests, Dr. Kojo Somney, Apostle of the Diaspora and the President of Mission Africa. Now you can look at him. Put the camera on him and let everybody see that he has a hidden camera in my closet. I decided to interview him, and he showed up with the outfit that I was planning to welcome.
Nice to meet you, Jeremy.
How often do you see that?
It's not.
The interviewer and the interviewee were in the same outfit.
It's divinely planned because we have the same passion, the same focus, and we hope to achieve the same results.
Very
So
good.
God has put us together.
That's it. Even if we don't see it in our lifetime, I hope we can help in our own small ways.
That's correct.
To put the systems in place to set us on a course towards reaching true emancipation for the African people.
That's correct.
Mission Africa. Tell us about it. What's Mission Africa?
Thank you, my brother, and thank you for my viewers, those of you in America, Central America, Europe, and Africa. When we say Mission Africa, it means that we are seeking humanitarian assistance for natural and spiritual development of the continent of Africa. That's one. Two, to network of all African Americans and Africans in the Caribbean, Africans in Europe, and Africans in Africa to come together as one.
Okay.
And embark on a mission with a vision. I believe that we have a vision to see Africa made great again. That's one. And to be able to achieve that vision, we need a mission with different parts of all Africans who are doing well, who have got wisdom, knowledge, understanding, technical know-how, experts, people with the desire to come together and have a pragmatic solution, step by step, to achieve the Africa we need, not Africa we want.
Okay.
So ours is Africa we need. And the African Union says Africa we want.
What's the difference?
The difference
I mean, I know the difference between the two words.
Yes.
But for contextually, what's the difference?
The difference is that, you know, the African we want is a desire. Whenever you want something, it's like you've eaten the main core and you want some good ice cream, or you want something to top it up. So it's what you want, not what you need. So Africa, we want by Agenda 2063 is, to me, it's a good idea, but it's going to be too slow. It's going to be step by step. That it will take a long time, because when you look at all the political leaders, they have not been able to agree since 1963. That's 80 years, because it's too much gradualism.
Yeah.
But Africa we need is more of a speed, of a timeline, and whatever it takes to make it happen, we should not waste time. We should make it happen.
Okay.
Like, for instance, give a quick example. It was said that we're going to have eco currency. About 2 years ago, we were excited about it, and all of a sudden, Nigeria bailout and other countries, they didn't come up with a solution. So it was not something that they really want to make it happen.
I'll even give you one. Last year, 2020 is supposed to be the silencing of the guns.
Yes.
Are the guns silenced on the continent of Africa now?
No.
It's still going on in Ethiopia.
Yes.
It's still going on
Mali.
in Mali, Nigeria.
Yes.
And what's the African Union involvement in all those hotspots?
It's because it's want. But when it's need, it means that a strategic format must be taken. But whatever means it will take to make it happen, no two ways it should happen.
Okay.
So Africa we need, I'm looking for, like, meeting you, to come up with a network of brothers and sisters who knows how to get it done.
Okay.
And to do that, we need to change the structures of our governance in all of Africa.
Okay.
That's what
we'll get to that. But when you were describing Mission Africa, you mentioned humanitarian.
Yes.
If there's one thing that we've done a lot of on this continent, is humanitarianism generally, and we're always at the receiving end of it.
Yes.
How has that made a difference?
Well, for instance, Mission Africa, we believe strongly that, for instance, I live in California since '88. We've been able to bring 1,000 people from America to come down to Ghana and do humanitarian work in our little small way. We've been able to help build schools in rural areas, give them boreholes of water, running water, renovated some schools, and putting tables and chairs, electrifying some schools in our little way. Then we've been able to bring doctors from different parts of America. The Lions Club, I was part of it. We've been to different hospitals, bringing hospital beds, helping some hospitals that they would never get the support because they're in the rural areas. That's the other way. We have also established ICT school to train people who are coming from backgrounds where they don't have no ICT, give scholarships. We train people in mobile phone repair, tablet repair at a very low rate. We also have a Bible college where we are training missionaries.
Okay.
So we are helping people. And finally, we are also putting up skilled workers and forming the skilled workers union.
Okay. So my struggle is this. On the one hand, as I sit here, I know there are people in, say, this is not a knock on people, just the name that came to mind. There are people in the rural area who need things. I get that. At the same time, the concept of humanitarianism, doesn't it instill beggar mentality in us, whereby our leaders feel like, okay, we can always get donors to do this, so we're going to use the money to take our girlfriends to Dubai and everything. If we didn't have that humanitarianism, where that turns us into beggars, and we were forced to really pay for everything, don't you think we would make better use of our money?
Well, I differ on that because in America, they have a different form of system, the welfare system. It's humanitarian because they are helping them. And for years, when they had this welfare system, it didn't help the African Americans much because they were depending on...
That's pretty precisely what I'm talking about.
Yes, but this is a different kind of humanitarianism because the Bible, as a believer, the Bible talks about that we must help the poor and the needy. So there should be a structure to help them to get them out. My concept of humanitarianism is we have a roadmap for a timeline. You don't have a skill, you come, we train you to get a skill, help you to get a skill, and guide you to get a job so you are out of it.
That's fine.
That's
but
my
see,
system.
from the private sector, that's great. But when you have just about every single African country, when they do their budget, there's a spot for donor community support. It's written as part of the budget. And that's where I mean, now, like I said, it's a struggle for me because I know there's a need there of the things that we need to do on this continent. We simply don't have the money for it. But when you go beg somebody, particularly the person that you're sitting across the street with begging for money, he takes the train to work. But when they look on TV, you're riding on big SUVs and living large and everything. How reconcile those?
Let me help you here. And I see where you're coming from. But as a human rights activist, I strongly believe Africa will need to comprise the changing of the system. The political system that has been given to us, the political system given to Africans, it's a system to make us beggars.
Okay.
So I strongly believe that we need to have a different system that will fit into our culture, because in our culture for years, we don't beg. We help each other to come out of whatever we are in. So Africa we are saying that it's time for the African leaders to come up with pragmatic solutions in governing our continent.
Okay.
One, you cannot take the Western democratic system, which most people don't understand anyway. The rural areas, the people in the village don't understand, and use that system and use Western constitution.
When it comes to taking money from their MP, they understand that system?
That's why I'm saying that. That's why I'm advocating that we need to change it.
Okay.
Because we are taking a system that benefits a group of political leaders.
Yeah.
That does not coordinate all the people of Africa.
Okay.
And our system that we are using in Africa, it breeds corruption, nepotism, favoritism, cronyism. It does not give us the answer. So I propose, and I'm keep advocating, we need 5 chambers of governance. 5 chambers of governance. So put this Western system aside, because every continent has a different system. The Chinese have their own system. They have coined their system to fit their culture. And they have been able to have one-party system with different, social democrat.
But didn't the Chinese take it from Russia?
But they have amended it.
Okay.
You take something good and you amend it to fit your culture. That's what I'm saying. Take some of the Western system, take some of the Far East, take some from the Arabs, take some from China, and then use yours also. Don't negate yours.
Okay.
And form your African democracy. Okay. When we form African democracy, I bet you, those who are taking advantage of what you're talking about, riding SUV and living big, it will stop. Because very soon, we are going to advocate that will stop. Let me complete what I'm trying to say. In the African democracy, I have come to realize that since 1963 to today, 58 years, we've not been able to achieve nothing. We are doing gradualism sort of economic development. Why? Because we put in a square peg in a round hole. But if we take Africa, we need We need the political leaders because they have been able to educate themselves, they understand, they can read. That's one chamber. The second chamber should be the kings and the queens chambers.
Okay.
Which means they are the custodians of the land. They had a system before the Western people came, and they understand the kingship, the monarch, how it is governed, the elders, the queen mothers, the Amancrado and all that. They should have them also have their representatives, the kings.
Are we talking about the same kings and chiefs who sell land for the Chinese to destroy?
No,
lands?
I differ on that. The
Okay.
reason why they sell lands is because they have made a decision without them. I cannot be a custodian of a land if I'm a chief, and I'm in my land. That is my human right. That's where God has given me my tribe, and I'm there. You have made a rule or a constitution that says that all the natural resources in our land, our traditional land, belongs to the government, and you give concession to people in Accra or in the capital. They come in and extract the natural resources without me being part of the discussion.
Okay, so if that is the issue, then you would expect that the chiefs will be at Jubilee House fighting their case rather than they themselves also selling the lands to people.
That's why I say that with African democracy, this thing will cease, and if I will finish. So when you have in the parliament, let's say Ghana, we have 16 regions, and we have paramount chiefs. So we have 16 paramount chiefs, chambers. They sit, they deliberate, they know what the politicians are talking about. So the politicians bring their manifesto, they bring in the chambers of the chiefs. Hey, we are planning to go to maybe Sehui or this area because we have found gold and diamond to extract. And this is what we are planning. We are planning to get a Chinese company or a German company or Australian company. This is the amount that we are trying to get from them, and this how many years they're gonna extract the gold. They discuss. And then they ask questions. Our chiefs and kings are not dummies.
Okay.
So they have to be able to discuss that. Then, that's second chamber. Then we move on to the third chamber, which comprises the religious chamber. The
religious chamber.
Yes.
Okay.
We need the Muslims are also part of those who are in this country. They think they have leaders who can reason and they have ideas. They have to get their best, their chief, their imam. And their caucus, bring their representatives. The Christian also bring their best. So we have a spiritual chamber where each of them believe in God. We're not talking about Jesus or Muhammad. We believe in God. So the wisdom of the Muslims leaders and the wisdom of the Christians also will look at the package that the politicians have given to the chiefs. The chiefs then look at it, okay, you are the spiritual leaders. Consult your God. And let's see how God will guide us to be able to maneuver this contract. Okay. So they're not in a rush. Then, after that, we come to expert chambers. We have professionals who are maybe land consultants and land litigation. They know all the rules, and those quantity surveyors and all those that are expert in the area of extraction. They have to come in and look at the contract, read the contract and see and dot all the I's. Then, if that is the case, the experts have looked at the contract. Then we go to the youth chambers, where we have young generation, boys and girls who are very intelligent. They have a chamber. So we have 5 chambers. So before a bill can pass, to give a concession for someone to go to any place to extract gold and diamond, they have sieved all and read all that entails.
Okay, so run that by me again. Is the chief's chambers?
The political chambers. The chief chambers.
They are the top.
They're the top.
And then who's next?
The traditional leaders, the kings, the chiefs, the kings and the queens, the traditional leaders.
But who's at the top?
The political leaders.
Oh, political leaders, okay.
They will always be at the top because they have to negotiate with foreigners.
But how would you choose them?
By election.
By election. That's a Western system that they say.
That's what I'm saying. I said that you have to pick up all that is needed.
Okay.
Because the Western system is not all that bad.
Okay.
But you don't have to use only one political system, give the manifesto to one political party, and he has the pulse of the nation and make a decision without any consultation. That's why the Galamsey people are fighting, because they were excluded.
Okay. So political leaders,
traditional leaders,
religious leaders, experts, and then the youth. Very good.
That's Africa we need.
We're going to go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll advance this further because I have a couple of questions with it. Stay tuned. This is Diaspora Weekly, and we'll be right back.
Thank you.
Are you looking for a secured, serene, and gated community located in the heart of the capital city of Ghana? Talk to Waylead Company Ghana Limited. Le Jardin Symphonique is a gated community developed by Waylead, situated at Community 14, Sakumono, which is within close proximity to Junction Mall, Queensland International School, and the Celebrity Golf Course. Each home is completed with high-end European finishing. Our homes comes with air conditioners, fans, recessed light in both living and dining area, state-of-the-art fitted kitchen. Visit Waylead Properties this Christmas period for an amazing end-of-year goodies such as gift vouchers, attractive discounts on each property you choose. Contact us on 0240-111-119 or 0504-499-999 or visit our website at www.waylead.org. Waylead. Home is where one starts from.
Welcome back. My name is Jermaine Nkrumah, and you're watching Diaspora Weekly, and my guest is Dr. Kojo Samney. Dr. Samney just introduced a new system. Now we're going to take it step by step and dissect it to see what it means. But before we get there, in your earlier submission, when you're describing something, you say, make Africa great again.
Yes.
Do you know what is there's somebody who made that statement on the other side of the Atlantic. Instead of Africa, he used America.
Yes.
When he said that, that's a similar MAGA. I mean, why should people even sign on to something that sounds so much like what Mr.
West Trump. Well, Africa was great before.
Okay. How great were we?
Well, if you take the Bible, coming from the Bible, the first time.
I'm not advocating that we weren't great.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong.
Yes.
But tell us how great we were compared to now.
Yes.
And where we need to go.
Well, being a believer in the Lord, I believe that when you read the Bible, in the book of Acts chapter 7 verse 22, the Bible says Moses was learned in all the wisdom of the Egyptians, and he was mighty in words and in deed. And the whole Bible that we have in our hand, the first time God spoke to mankind was in the land of Africa, in Midian.
Where?
In Midian.
Which is where?
Which is today, it will be like part of, I would say, going to Iraq and those areas. But those,
so Egypt.
So this, all we call the land of Egypt.
Yeah.
The Midian was a descendant of.
But those people, the Northern Africans, they subscribe more to the Arabic doctrine than the African doctrine.
Yes, because Muhammad, after in AD 700, the 7th century, the Arabs conquered the North Africa. So North Africans were conquered by the Arabs, and they brought Islamic to the North African countries. And the Africans, the dark-skinned Africans, moved downwards.
Okay.
So these Arabs are people who came from the Arabian Peninsula.
To occupy land in Africa.
Yes. Black Africa.
Yes.
Okay, sub-Saharan Africa.
Right. So let's take it. Sorry to cut. Let's take your concept from the top.
Yes.
Political leaders.
Yes.
How would you select them, and what would be the makeup of the political leaders?
Okay. Because we have come to understand that democracy is the way to go. But democracy minus God is equal to secularism. So democracy is not fit for Africa. It wouldn't work.
So why would you put them at the top?
Because of the system, it's not easy to change. They have some good things about democracy. So pick the good ones. Campaigning, free election, and all that. We have one party that will win. We are advocating that when it comes to that, we must have one national strategic agenda. All the political parties must come out together, and let's look at their manifesto. See what are common in their manifestos and put all together so that, let's say, NPP, NDC, they are saying the same thing about developing the country. So put your manifestos together so you don't have NPP manifesto or NDC manifesto or APC manifesto. One, this manifesto, let's see how long can you take to fulfill this
At
manifesto?
what point would you do that? Because if we bring it together to form one, then there will be no reason for political
No,
competition.
we are talking about the agenda manifesto.
Okay.
A manifesto. Manifesto means that, how they want to
Right,
achieve their goals. So manifestos can be one. But who will sit on top is the reason why they are campaigning.
Good. So you're saying that if I'm MPP, you're NDC, he's APC, we campaign on different manifestos, but when whoever wins will govern with all three manifestos put to one.
That's right. That's my concept. Africa we need.
Now, if you won,
Yes.
why should I give you my
No, because the purse of the nation does not belong to a party.
But I came up with the idea.
No. That's why I'm saying that there's no idea. We have to have it's called consultative council. MPs, APC brings his manifesto, NDC brings his manifesto, and MPP order bring their manifesto. We have experts look at what are common in the manifesto and put it together to have one strategic manifesto for the nation.
Okay.
So it does not belong to NDC. Once it's put together, it belongs to the whole nation. So we have realized that these manifestos are, or is what we are going to use for the last 50 years. Part is yours, part is mine. So there will be no, mine is better than yours is better than mine. We have agreed that this is the way we're going to go.
But you do know that manifestos are different ways of getting the same things done. For example, a manifesto is that we all agree that we need to go from Accra to Kumasi. Your manifesto is saying that we need to go by air. My manifesto says, no, we need to go by road. The other manifesto says, no, let's go by train. So if the people vote for you that it's better we go by air, they've rejected my road manifesto.
No. Now listen to what I'm trying to say. Once we have a council of experts, you cannot, winners don't take all. We look at our strength financially. We look at what you are saying, what he's saying, what I'm saying, and we come together to draw a conclusion that this is our financial strength. If we go by air, it will be too expensive. If we go by foot, it will be too slow. So let's go by maybe train. We all have to come to concessions. Agreed. And have one national strategic agenda. Africa we need. So that nobody agenda or manifesto is the key. We have agreed.
Fine.
We are using our own African system. Africa we need. That's what China has done.
So now the next layer is the chiefs.
So now that we have come to one manifesto, if we campaign and your party wins, we are not worried because we know that you are not going to do anything different. So 4 years or 5 years, you govern and we are watching you. As you do well, you come back to campaign again. If we realize that you are good, you win again. But
so then in this case, the differences between the political parties would not be based on ideology, but I guess expertise in implementing
the concept.
The concept.
Yes.
All right.
The agenda.
All right.
So Africa we need. Then here comes the second one. So now that we are going to pass the road to Kumasi or to wherever you are, but we're going to pass through your village and all that. We're going to destroy some of your houses and all that. They have to look at it.
The chiefs
will come in and negotiate. The conversations and all that. So everything is in order.
Now, so the first time, the first layer, we've evaluated them. Dr. Kojo Samne is smarter and better than Jermaine Nkrumah, so we voted for him, right? But at that
Thank
second
God I'm
level,
going to win one day.
the second the second layer, the people don't have any choice.
They do. The
chieftaincy, who you're born into the family, and whether you're dumb or smart, it is you are the bloodline. You're the chief.
No, that is African. What you are talking about is monarchy. We are talking African we need. So there's going to be some...
So you're going to change the chiefs, the method of installing chiefs?
No, there has to be education. If you go to Dubai, for instance, there are Muslims. They have kings, and they have consultative council that advises them. So let's say if you are part of the royalty, that you are the chief, and maybe I'm the chief and I'm not educated, but it's my turn. By education, of the Africa we need solution. We don't need you to come and you are done, you can negotiate. So there will be proper education within the hierarchy of the family. Because you couldn't go to school and this guy is the next in line, let us give it to him. Because what we want now,
Africa?
Oh yeah, it's trouble.
Okay.
It's a matter of talking to people.
Okay.
It's a matter because you are not fit for it and he will understand. For instance, my family is there.
First of all, the guy who didn't go to school is the least likely to understand the concept you're saying in the first place and give way to someone who went to school.
No, there's nothing that impossible. If the outcome is beneficial, they will understand. That
Maybe you have to write that into law.
Right,
If you write that into law, then it becomes, okay, the two of you are the ones who are fit for the throne, but
Yes.
we'll look at competence.
Yes,
Harmful, you're not up to this guy's competence, so we'll give it to him. If it's the law, then we all understand.
Yeah.
But if you're asking me to voluntarily give way to somebody, you have a fight on your hands.
No. You see, that's what people think. Africans are think that way. We are not all Africans think that way. We are at an age where we need to reason.
Okay.
And when we sit down and reason, Kofi, because you cannot go and this one can go, if it's in the law, that's fine. If it's not the law, it's negotiation. You talk, because of this, I'm going. But if I go, if I get $60, $30 will be yours. $30 is mine. Because we are brothers.
Okay.
I'm just representing you.
Okay.
So there's negotiation. Where there's understanding, there's always peace.
Okay.
But when a person is pushed aside and is not part of the negotiation, there comes the confusion.
Okay.
And we want to tell the whole world that Africans are not dummy.
Okay, fine.
So
So the next level.
So here we come. We have a competent person in the kingship, negotiating with other kings and chiefs to make sure that they are governing the country very well. Then we moved on
To
the
the
spiritual leaders.
Oh, you said religious or spiritual leaders?
Religious leaders or spiritual leaders, they are the same.
Are you going to include the priests and pastors? And
No, we have, when I say spiritual leader, we're talking about the top of the religious leaders. Let's say, for instance, in Christian Council of Ghana, we have leaders who have been appointed to be head of the Protestant churches. Then we have charismatic. Look at the best of all, and those who are competent and renowned with high integrity, they are picked. We look at the Islam section, and the Imam, the best and the competent one, they picked. If they have 20 number, we put them in the chambers. After they are talking to the same God. So they are not enemies. They sit down and they care for people. They govern their people. The pastors also govern their people. So
isn't that utopia, though?
No.
Because you're assuming that Christians and Muslims will sit down together on that same hierarchy and
discuss.
We know better.
No, I'm telling you, there's nothing that's going to happen because we are talking about a new system. African we need.
And especially when you look at that, both religions are imported into our system. And I thought you were trying to do away with as much Western stuff as possible.
Yes, we are doing that, but we are in Africa where we cannot just negate one religious group and we just want peace. A united we stand. They say God, we say God. They say Allah, we say Allah. So we are not talking about.
So you will include the traditional spiritual people.
Yes, because the land belongs to all of us.
Okay.
We don't want anybody to be sidelined.
So do you expect that the head of the Protestant church will sit at the same meeting with a guy who worships idol?
Because we are talking about economic development. Economic development is not salvation.
I know, but you think both of them will agree to sit together?
They have to, because that's how it's called. We have got to the age where we have to be all-inclusive. Governance is all-inclusive.
Okay.
But the governance we have is excluding some people.
Okay.
So we include the spiritual leaders, the traditional leaders, and all that. And we are talking about how can we get this thing better for all of us. That is Africa we need. Okay. So they sit together. We are not talking about salvation here.
Okay.
We are not talking about who is going to heaven.
All right.
All right. So that's then we come to the
expert.
The expert.
You see, I'm not the reason I'm gonna skip the expert and the youth because I know that for those it's very easy to select. You see what I'm saying? Based on knowledge and everything.
Yes.
But
the youth.
The question I have on this structure is that currently we know the implementers, which is the executive.
Yes.
And we know those who make the laws, which is the legislature.
Yes.
And we know those who adjudicate the law.
The Supreme
In your
Court.
current structure, the structure that you just described,
Yes.
who will do what?
Well, there come the experts. They are within the experts. So it's the experts. Let's say we come to the law. They come in. They are the experts.
Okay.
They come to negotiations. The experts.
Okay.
So the expert chambers will look for those who are fit to put all this in together.
Okay.
And that's why we need to have them to be part of the chamber.
Okay.
So it's going to be perfect, system. Each one advising one another. We cannot lean on to this two-way system and give one person, one political party.
Okay.
So here comes the climax, the future leaders. Who are the youths? They are the people who are going to leave this country into their hands.
And in your system, they'll climb right through the ranks.
Yes!
Because if they were at the bottom ladder,
They become
experts, and they might even say, some are the experts. Some may choose the religious route, some may choose the traditional route, and some may choose the political route.
Yes!
Great. Now, we have 2 minutes to go on a break. Use that 2 minutes to describe to me how you're going to get this implemented.
Thank you very much. We have just started. This is the number one. We are dialoguing. There are people out there who have more wisdom, more ideas. They can call you on your, get on the website, call our number. I can put my number on there if you allow me, so that people can contact me. missionafricainc.org. missionafricainc.org. That's my website. And
Inc with a C, right?
Yeah, with the C. missionafricainc.org. www. Contact us. Bring your ideas. If you're a lawyer, you are a chief, you have ideas, bring it together. Let's come together and start a movement.
Okay.
And your TV station is number one.
Okay.
We have people who are watching us, who are listening, who have more ideas. Let's come together and network with others. Then start going to the chiefs first. From the chiefs, then we go to the kings first, the chiefs, and I'll be contacting all those people we have to contact. I believe Ghana is the gateway to start the African democracy.
Okay.
And through your help and others, we can start the negotiation.
Very good. This has been, hasn't been. We have a third segment where we will dig into you, Dr. Samney, to find out what you bring to the table that equipped you to be able to effect this change that you're talking about.
All right.
This is Diaspora Weekly. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
As the national regulator of the communications industry in Ghana, the National Communications Authority seeks to ensure an environment that is safe and fair for consumers and service providers. NCA grants licenses and authorizations for operation of communication systems and services, develops guidelines to streamline communication activities, establish and monitor quality of service indicators for operators and service providers. NCA is in 8 regions: Accra, Tamale, Takoradi, Kumasi, Ho, Koforidua, Sunyani, and Bolgatanga. Do you have unresolved complaints with your service providers? Contact us on 0800110662, 0307011419 between the hours of 8 o'clock a.m. and 5 o'clock p.m. from Monday to Friday, or visit our website at www.nca.org.gh and follow the procedure for filing a complaint or submitting enquiry. National Communications Authority. Communications for development.
Hello and welcome back. This is one of those conversations that it's so engaging. Now, before I get back, I'm thirsty. I'm sorry.
Let me join you too.
Well, let me show this. Specialized.
Yes, go get it. It's the best.
Good stuff. Great stuff. All right. So we've talked about your concept.
Yes.
Every concept is as good as the person who's leading that change.
Yes.
Who is Dr. Kojo Samney?
Thank you, Bamba.
What do you bring to the table that equips you to effect this change?
For the last 18 years, I've been privileged by the grace of God to hold a conference at the Parliament House of Ghana.
Okay.
We have been able to bring 1,000 African Americans to Ghana. I live in California. My kids are there. I went to Bible College first. Then I went to Simon Greenleaf School of Law, International Human Rights, and African Economic Development. It's a Jewish school. And that's where I learned the concept of how the Jews are building Israel together. Then I also, because I went to Bible College, I believe strongly that with God all things are possible. And when I'm not talking about, I believe in Jesus Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach, but I believe in God first. The Bible says God first.
So they were one and the same.
Yeah, but God first, so that when you say God, it's easier to get people to get on board. When you say Jesus, then you are talking about leaders.
Okay.
So we use Yeshua HaMashiach, but God first. When you say God, then you can get the Muslims and the Christians to work together.
Yeshua HaMashiach?
Yeshua HaMashiach.
What's the language?
Yeshua HaMashiach is Hebrew.
Okay.
You know, his actual name is Yeshua HaMashiach.
Okay.
It's not called Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is the European name.
Okay.
He's an actor. He was an actor. But we are using the real name of Yeshua HaMashiach, his Hebrew name.
So when did you get this concept?
The concept is Bible College. I went to Simon Greenleaf School of Law, International Human Rights in Anaheim. And there I met my Jewish leaders who believed that they're going to make Israel great again. Because in 1948, when Israel was given back to the Israelites, they had a system to rebuild Israel. And if you look at the world today, Israel, as small as it is, they are very powerful, they are well organized, and the economy of Israel is just shooting high and high. I just came back from there some few months ago. And we are using the same concept because the history of the Jews are parallel to the history of the Africans. They were 430 years in slavery. We were also in 430 years in slavery. They took the best out of Israel and took them to Mesopotamia. They took the best out of Africa and took them to the Western world. So if we are to make Africa great again, we have to go the concept of God. And what the Jews are doing today, they are bringing all the diasporas from Russia, from Europe, everywhere, and they are building Israel. So Mission Africa, we are saying that we must use the same biblical concept. And the Bible has said, envoys will come out of Egypt, and Ethiopia shall lift up their hands unto God. So if we use the biblical principles, we can make Africa great again.
So,
and I believe I'm the leader that God has called to push this agenda.
I want to drill down on something you just said. They took the best out of the Jews from Israel to Mesopotamia,
Babylon.
And you're saying Africans too, they took the
best out and they let the weakest out.
You would struggle to make that argument that those who were enslaved were the best of us.
Well, I can explain right now.
Okay.
It won't take too long, right?
Okay, go ahead.
Because during the time of slavery, the weak couldn't go because the middle passage was heavy. It's a long distance. So they have to get those who are strong, physically strong, adjust them, feed them gradually to take them there. So those who were fit for war and fit to build were the people that took away.
What about the notion that those who were taken away were actually prisoners of war that their conquerors traded away?
Not all of them. Okay. If you read all the history books, some were traded away, some were conquered through the war, the tribal war. Some were also preyed upon and were captured, but they sorted out for the best.
Okay.
So the best,
out of the captured.
Out of the captured.
Okay.
And so when they were going, some of them would say, Kumbaya, Kumbaya, come by here, Lord. Yeah. They were godly people. Yeah. They knew God.
You see, the reason why I'm saying this, and I want to look in this camera to say whoever is watching, I've never been the proponent of anyone being better than any other person. But I had to go there because you said that it was the best out of the best among us that were taken away.
Yes.
And that's your explanation.
Yes.
Okay. All right, Frank, go ahead with
So if you want to build Africa, we must look at those who have similar concepts. And biblically, I believe we must use the concept of the promises. There are so many prophecies in the Bible, in the Old Testament, concerning Africa. And when you look at it, it says envoys will come out of Egypt. And the diasporans also will be back. So it's time for us to network. That's why I like your TV station, Diaspora. The diaspora means those who are living outside. The best were taken out, and they went to become slaves. And the Bible says the greatest of all must be a servant. They've gone there to serve for so many years. And now they've got democracy, they've got the human rights and all that. Now they are free. And we have expert diasporans outside. It's time to network with them. So we can get some of them to be the experts in what I'm talking about. So having them coming home with a good system, good governance system, with all the hitches removed, and making sure that transparency is established.
Okay.
Then we can come together and begin to build gradually, a city at a time.
Okay. So now let me ask you this. Why, explain to me why the trajectory that we're on is not working or is not sustainable?
Simply because it's Western system. And Western system is established in a way that you are colonized. Your brain is colonized, you are whitewashed, brainwashed, and you depreciate yourself. But if we have my system that I'm talking about established, this thing will not be there. We'll be able to remove it.
What do you say to people who say that in 60 years, in the case of Ghana, I think it's 64 years, when you look at the level of development that Ghana has chalked up in 64 years, not even the best of them developed at that pace in 64 years when you go back to their foundations. So in other words, are we doing that badly?
Yes, we are not doing well at all.
Okay.
Because the system we are using is not fair. It's unjust system. For instance, let me give you a serious system. Look at, I was in Dubai. Dubai is about 20 years old. Dubai is just like a desert. The 8 UAE nations, they are using the same system I'm talking about. They pick different systems, put them together, and have the kings rule with consultative council. And within 20 years, Dubai is better than Africa.
They have a lot of oil money, and there were very few of them.
They use wisdom. When you have consultative council, you use your money wisely. The system the Arabs are using, the chiefs, the kings are using, it's not one-party system.
Gaddafi built Libya very well. He had 3 million people, a ton of money, and he didn't use that system.
That's what I'm saying, that he didn't use that system. Where is he now? Because Africa, is so weak.
Okay.
But if Africa, will follow my system, we'll have one army. And by our population, if we have to follow in China for strength, we could have fought these people who came after Gaddafi to destroy him. But we're not united because we have a system where we are leaning on our colonial masters. And when a person colonizes you, he has colonized you to depend on him or her.
But you don't think we can use this system and still divorce ourselves from them?
It's not easy. It's not going to be easy because the Bible says the borrower is a slave to the lender. And we are borrowing. And when you borrow, where is your strength?
You haven't seen someone who came from a village, uneducated, live with a city person who is educated, and while he's living there, educate himself and go on to become better on their own.
Yes, it's there.
So it means we can also, yes, we follow their system. They colonized us. Now we've got political independence, but the way we're still tied to them at the umbilical cord,
yes.
I agree with you.
Yes.
But where I separate from you is that I still think that we can use that same system and do it on our own.
You can't. It will never work easily.
Really?
Never. Have 68 years. Look at the UAE, Dubai, 15 years, 20 years, and look at what they've done because they have a consultative council. You cannot use a square peg in a round hole.
Yeah.
We are using a system that everything you run.
Yeah.
Look at, for instance, let's give you a Ghana example. Apostle Kojo Safo has been able to struggle for 70 years and has been able to come off a car. No, and I've seen his car being used by police people. Why can't our government say that every civil servant, we must make sure we buy our cars from Apostle Kojo
When you
Sarfo
find
and
out,
encourage.
when you find out the answer to that question, let me know, because I'll be asking it myself.
Because the colonial system is dependency system. It's not self-reliant system.
Wait, do you think now,
Yes.
if Ghana decides that they're going to
Buy-
junk out and buy only, UK is going to say, oh no, I'm forcing you to buy my Range Rovers? I don't think so.
Because
I think it's us.
it's leadership. By the conscience of our leaders, it's colonized conscience.
Okay.
It's not patriotism conscience.
Okay.
They say what they want to say to win election. But if we have an Africa we need, then the decision will not be made by one political party.
Yeah.
The chiefs, the youth, the experts will say, no, let's buy 20 cars from Apostle Kojo Sarfo, 5 from Europe. We're not saying negate them, but reduce it. But you have got now foreign companies coming.
Okay.
To contest or to compete with somebody who has struggled for all these years. Now it's time for us to buy his car. We are asking people to come in and compete with him. How can heavyweight boxer fight an amateur boxer? The amateur boxer cannot fight the heavyweight boxer because Apostle Kojo Sarfo has tried so long to get where he is. Now you bring in different companies to compete with him. That's not fair. You are killing the.
Okay. So
economy.
this is your camera. Look in there. Talk to the leader of Ghana, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo.
Yes.
And then talk to Musa Muhammad Faki,
Yes.
chairman of the African Union Commission chair.
Yes.
Why they should buy into your idea.
Okay, first
2
of
minutes.
all, okay, Faki, you are the commissioner for AU. You know very well that the system which you are governing Africa with is not a fair system. You are leaning on the Western system. I'm proposing to you that we need African democracy comprises of 5 chambers: the political chambers, the traditional chambers, the spiritual chambers, the expert chambers, and the youth chambers. So we can all reason, form a consultative council to reason to make Africa great. That's what you need. Otherwise, you will be a pauper, sitting there and being remote controlled. And remember that political independence minus economic independence is equal to remote control independence. That's what we have now. And we cannot leave our children, our posterity, in the hands of colonial masters training. Now, to the president of Ghana and all presidents in Africa, listen to what I'm saying. You are doing very well, but you cannot give the purse of Africa countries to one political party to govern the affairs of the nation. You need the 5 chambers that I talk about. May God bless you to take it and plan, pray about it, think about it, and call the experts and let us implement this for 20 years. Try it for 20 years. If it doesn't work, then let's go back to colonial system. But if it works, we give glory to God, and I know it will work. So, President Nana Akufo-Addo, you are doing very well, but it's time to change the system from Western democracy to African democracy. That's the way that all the youth will be part of it. I thank you very much. And to you, my big brother, this is the best TV station that I've ever been on.
Thank you.
Because you are a diasporian person. And I believe we need our brothers and sisters outside to come up with a consultative plan to make Africa great again.
Thank you. And that was Dr. Kojo Samney with an innovative idea, governance idea. It's been one of the great conversations. This was a give and take, which is actually the way I would always like to have it. But for you, the viewer, I would like to thank you for taking time to watch Diaspora Weekly. My name is Jermaine Nkrumah, and on that camera, I'm staring at someone, Giftio Kwampa. She's laughing. She knows why she's laughing. And I'll have the great crew here behind me, those who can dance and those who cannot dance. But we're all good. That's what makes Diaspora Network Television the great TV station that is. We thank you for watching. Stay blessed and stay tuned to our other programs.
Long live Ghana, Long live the baby, mine.
One time. So Congo to Jenny Mumpire. So Bonfumpo we are fire. I'm ready ever to you. Ghana made ever to you. Let me free Ghana. The man Penya Wodikano, your friend of Dr. Nkrumah. Yeah, mini sign up when my dear number your mama. I send my coupe bina mentia, I am in one. Here, on a J fan who ye, Yanaraya Sassin, I have what they did my Mojana, no here, Gunya to her, my head, room in able to say a baby at once. Here, can I be a baby? I'm in a way, I'm in a new I'm in a new one so, no, and Yankee on one Diana and possesses every Obiana war and any Jana into young physical turns of Fangu from Namufraina, Comna to Jomon Campuya, who say a kind of animal that be so did be. Video some you do need the Ghana City, Obia baby, and now to any greedy. I'm a Janka Bitty baby, and I will go to Korea, Bianco, Bini, India, when I was so young. Rene Usi, my back, when the Piazza and Kutia can dance, so woke up Parliament, Taconaco, and I was saying, Mutu to become a power, Memphis, Jankan, Koya, Bawana, and Master Bibi, a woman, Pango Shabun, some tower, and yes, I put it power. When I go try a bank, I really mean, and